Lots of participants today. Thank you for joining us. We're going to be doing bird feeders today, as you know. Yay. So you can see in front of me, look just at this section right here. I'm going to show you some of the ones we're going to do. So we're going to work with popsicle sticks today. There it is. I've done a double header. Okay, like what are these called? Upstairs, downstairs, or a bunk bed kind of thing. Okay, this is really two. We're going to make one of these, but you can always go ahead if you have more popsicle sticks. You can go ahead and make another one, and you can tier them like this. Okay, so this is what ours is going to look like. And take a look. I've got one of the ledges coming out one end and one coming out the other end. You can also put two on, but I put on the materials list 51 popsicle sticks. If you have 51, this is what it's going to end up looking like at the end, okay? Then I made this just to show you. This is exactly the same. Base has not changed at all, okay? I've just put two. Here, we'll try to get a good view. I've put two perches on there. And then what I did was I made a little roof for it. And I can show you how to do that as well. We won't do the roof today, but if you have extra popsicle sticks, you can certainly do that on your own afterwards. Okay, great. And we're going to be doing something like this, which is made out of a ice cream cone. Okay, covered with peanut butter and birdseed. Here is a pine cone, also got peanut butter on, you know, the individual pines on there, and then covered in peanut butter and peanut butter and then covered in birdseed as well. And a few other, these are very tiny ice cream cones. I could only find mini ones at the store. So, oh, well, I bought the mini ones, but if you've got big ones, they will work just fine and probably even a bit better. Okay. So we will be doing a little bit of all of this today. I'm going to move this out of the way, and I am going to gather all my supplies to get going on this so you can see them all up close. We are going to start with popsicle sticks, okay? And you need some glue or a glue gun. I'm kind of cheating today, guys, with the glue gun. I love glue guns. They are a bit quicker, but you can do this with regular glue, or you can even do it with glue stick. It's perfectly fine as well. Let's just kind of leave this in the view so you can see it from up above. Okay, there we go. So everybody ready? Got your popsicle sticks and your glue? Okay. Take 12 popsicle sticks, line them all up in a row. Okay, so where we get to use a bit of math. Well, it's really just counting. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I need two more. 11, 12. Some of your popsicle sticks might be curved or bended a little bit. It doesn't really matter. Okay. Once you've lined them all up, what I like to do is then take another popsicle stick, move this up a bit, and just straighten them out. You see how I can tap them a little bit there, straighten them out, make them all even, and then I take it and I tap a little bit to put them a bit closer together. Then I need two more popsicle sticks. And these popsicle sticks are going to go horizontally glued on there to hold them all together. So what I do is I take some of my glue, again, any kind of glue, and I put this glue along the popsicle stick. Okay, you can't see it, it's clear, but I'm trying to show you a bit of an angle. There's my hot glue. Use any glue you have, even a glue stick will work. I mean, glue sticks, the glue will dry out a little bit faster afterwards, but it's still good. It'll last long enough for the birds to have their feed. Okay, then I'm going to glue it on there. Take the other one. I've got to make another support because we've got to put all of the 12 popsicle sticks together so they don't fall apart. Going to glue that along there as well and across the top. Okay, super. Okay, so it's looking like that. Now we're going to take 11 popsicle sticks, not 12 like the time before, but 11. counting them out here. Okay. And these 11 are going to go on there just to give it a little bit. It's going to be the base of our birdhouse, but you can see how I've got some gaps because not all of the popsicle sticks are perfectly straight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do another layer, and that will just cover all the gaps, and we won't lose any of the bird feed, and it'll just give it a little bit extra support. So to do this, I have a couple of options. I can put glue. If you're using regular white glue, your best option is to put it right along these two horizontal pieces that we just put on there. And then to go along and stick all of your 11 popsicle sticks on. In my case, because hot glue dries so quickly before I can get them all on there, I am going to do it individually like this and glue them on. Hot glue dries so fast, but it is super hot, so you've got to be very careful. If you're working with an adult and you have a hot glue gun, that's terrific. Easy to do. When we have summer camps and classes, we don't let the kids work with the hot glue. We usually have the instructors do that for them. We might set up like a glue station, and then the kids bring their pieces over and they get help gluing with the hot glue. Okay, so we are just making a nice second layer on here to give it a solid base. Last week it was so warm, I heard some birds chirping away. So hopefully we'll get these out, even though it's a bit cooler now. I had one too many. Okay, so 11. Great. How's everybody doing? Okay. Everybody okay? So the first layer was 12, and then second layer is 11. And we've got something that looks like this, sandwich almost. Okay, there you go. That's a better look, better. Oh, wood glue works really well. Taylor, I see you're using wood glue. That's an option as well. There's something called rubber cement that works quite well as well, dries very quickly. It's a bit smelly. I didn't have any of that handy, so I went with the hot glue. Great. So then we're going to take one and we're going to glue it on to make a perch. And this is where you should glue it horizontal to the way that your base is going. Okay. And you can make it stick out as long as you want. Doesn't really matter, just as long as there's enough room for a bird or two to sit on there. About halfway or so. Okay. Okay. Then we're going to take two more and we're going to put them like this. So now we're starting the sides, and the sides are going to have 6 popsicle sticks each. Okay. So it won't be very deep, but deep enough to hold some of the bird seed. Okay. So let's glue these on. I'm just going to put glue on the ends. Don't really need to glue the entire side down. Just the ends, because when we take 2 more and we do this way, you should only put the glue on the ends, because really it's only going to touch these 2 ends. Okay, you don't need to put glue on the entire popsicle stick. So it'll save you a bit of time and a bit of glue. Looking good. I can see some of them. Okay, so I'm going to take another popsicle stick and I'm going in the opposite direction. I'm going to stick it right on here, okay? And then I'm going to do the other side. We're always doing like 2 sides at once, okay? 2 sides that are running parallel to each other. Let's take 2 more. And we're going to build up the sides. Okay, I'm going to keep going. There we go. 2 more. Okay, so right now you can see I've put 3 on there. We got 3 more to go. Okay, so that's the side view of it right there. Okay. So all of my popsicle sticks are starting to go down, down, down. Okay. Well, right now I've got now 4 on there. I'm going to do 2 more rows around. Okay. There we go. There's 5. Well, I'm going to keep going until I use up all of my popsicle sticks. Okay. Now I can pick mine up because I've used hot glue and it dries really quickly. But for those of you using white glue or even the wood glue, you might have to, fantastic, looking good. Good work, Celia Taylor, looks lovely. So you might be able to pick it up. If it's still kind of like gooey and squishy, you will have to wait until it dries in order to pick it up, okay? But while it's drying, we are going to put on the string. We've got to put some string on it so that we can hang it. So we're going to take string. This could be yarn. It's better. This is like a cotton string. This is a little bit better because it's going out in nature. So if you're using any kind of acrylic yarn, which is totally possible, please make sure you check on it so that if, in the end, when it's empty or when you no longer want to use it, you don't have acrylic flying around the environment. At least with cotton, it's natural. It'll go, dissolve and go back into the earth. So that's why I chose this cotton string that I have, and it can be any length, okay? I don't know, that's about a foot, okay? 12 inches or so, maybe a little bit longer, about like that. Thinking in centimeters, what would that be, like 24, 30 centimeters or so. And we want 4. Okay, so I'm going to cut 4. Now, when you hang this outside, you've got to check it every couple days or every week to make sure it's got bird seed in it. And you'll have to replenish as the birds come by and eat everything. Okay, so this is the tricky part. You see these little gaps between the popsicle sticks? That's where we've got to insert the string. So go through your top one like this. And if your string is thicker or frayed, it might be a little bit difficult, but you feed it through so that it's like this, okay? You can see I've got it inserted in there. And then just tie a knot. Here we go, ready to go, okay? We're gonna do that at each corner. If you have any questions or you're having any challenges or you want me to slow down, just put it in the chat or turn your mic on. Okay, so you can see I've got 2 on there now. They're looking like this. And then we're going to take all 4 and we're going to tie them together here at the top. Okay, so let's do the other 2. Oh, I think I cut 5 instead of 4. Only need 4. Okay, and when you've got all 4 of them, this is what it will look like. Okay. And then we take all 4, grab them together at the top, and this is where we knot them all together, okay? Now, before you knot them, you have to suspend it a little bit to make sure you've got all of the strings tight a little bit, because we can't have one string that's floppy here. Okay, we've got to pull them all kind of taut so that they're all, oops, I pulled the wrong one, so that they're all supporting the weight of it. Okay, and you want it also to be a bit straight. You don't want it to be like this. It's going to fall over and the seed will fall out the side. So you've got to balance it a little bit. And when you think you've got them all balanced, okay, grab all of those and tie a knot. And there we go. Okay. Fantastic. Looking great. Those of you using wood, you might have to just be careful if you're using glue, because if your glue isn't quite dry yet, it might be difficult to suspend them. You might have to just wait a little bit till it becomes tacky and sticks together, and then you can go ahead and put the string on, okay? And then comes the best part of all, bird seed, okay? Take a little bit, put it in. Now, there are all kinds of bird seed out there. I'm sure you discovered when you went to purchase some. It really doesn't matter. You can use any kind of seed. You might attract different birds, but that's perfectly fine. They'll make their way to it. They'll find it. Okay. Everybody set? Super. So now, if you want to put a top on it, a roof on it later, it's not a problem. You simply do exactly what we did with the 12 popsicle sticks. And then on the inside, you can see my 2 horizontal ones in here, okay, that I glued in there to support them. There, I'm trying to, it's opposite for me when I'm looking at this on the screen. Okay, so I didn't do a double layer. I did a single layer only, 12 plus 2 in there to support it. And then on this side, same thing, 12 again, and then 2 on the inside to support it, okay? And then once you've got those, you simply put them on and use a lot of glue to glue it in here, okay? It does take quite a lot of glue. You can see all of the hot glue I put on there on the edge, on the corners to hold it on there, okay? Because the touch points, there's only those 2 touch points. And then what I recommend is to put 2 more popsicle sticks right here on the top, because there's going to be a slight gap between them. Put 2 more there and it'll cover that hole, and then the food won't get rained on as much. Some of the water will make it through the roof though. And then the string just went on like that. Okay, so that is another option if you have more popsicle sticks and later you want to do that. We're going to keep going because I want to show you ice cream cones, of course, the most delicious part of the show. Okay, everybody set? Looking good. Michael, were you okay with yours? Fantastic. Okay, looks great. I'm just going to move this out of the way a little bit. And we're going to start with the yummy part. Okay.
So Diane, it looks like someone's just joined, which is perfect timing.
Fantastic. Hello.
So we're just about to start the next activity, so you came at the best time.
Fantastic. Yes, we are starting. And we are going to be doing our ice cream cone bird feeders, okay? Okay, so we need some ice cream cones. Here we go. I'm getting all of my supplies together. I've got 2 very mini small ice cream cones, and then I've got the waffle cone, which is often called a sugar cone. Let me pull these a little bit over, and we'll do the pine cone later. Okay, so let's start with this kind of cone. Does everyone have this kind of ice cream cone? Okay, great. Okay, Celia, I think you've got this. Is it Celia? No? Oh, I'm terribly sorry.
It's Ellen.
Ellen.
Okay.
Ellen, I think last week I might have called you Celia. I don't know why I thought
Just shakes it off.
we'll just go with it. Okay, great. So let's do this kind of ice cream cone. And if you don't have one, just watch. You can do it next time you're at the store. So I've got peanut butter here. And I've got, if you have a peanut intolerance, not a problem. You can also use shortening or lard. Is that upright on your screen or the wrong way?
Hey, Diane, does what Taylor have, is that going to be okay? Taylor, can you show it in the video? There we go.
Is that paper? You can absolutely use it. Now, it has to be able to support some kind of fat, which is like peanut butter or shortening or lard. As long as you've got a sturdy enough piece of paper or cardstock, that will work, okay? So maybe your helper can help you with all of that. Okay, so I'm going to work with peanut butter, but if you're working with the other substances, that's completely fine. They should be at room temperature though. Otherwise it'll be difficult to spread. Like for example, I keep my shortening and lard in the fridge, did not work. I had to set it out all night to make it soft, okay? Okay, so I am going to take this and just hold on, Taylor. I'll show you yours in a moment. And I'm going to take my chenille stem, aka Pop's pipe cleaner is what we used to call them in the olden days. And I'm going to gently put it through, okay, poke it through, and you will find it goes very easy to poke it through, okay? And then I'm going to continue pushing so it will come out the other side. Now, take a look inside. I'm kind of angling it to make sure it goes straight through, okay? I'm pushing it through. So it's looking like this. Okay, move this out of the way here. And then I pull it through halfway. And simply then twist a little bit, okay? So it's pretty easy to put it through, but these are delicate ice cream cones. So you have to be a little bit careful. Okay. Now, what I was mentioning before, these are chenille sticks. There's a bit of metal inside and like this fluffy kind of fuzz, fiber fuzz on the outside. Please, folks, looking good, Ellen. Okay. When you're hanging this up outside and you need to go back and check when it's all done, make sure you bring the chenille stem back in. Don't leave it outside so it flies around, ends up on someone else's yard. Okay, great. Then I'm going to take a little bit of peanut butter, and this is where you kind of have to be delicate. I put 2 fingers in there just to support it a little bit. Okay, so then I'm going to take some of the peanut butter, smells so good, and I'm going to just put it around. It can be a little bit messy. Okay. I'm going to turn it and hold it here. Now I'm just going to cover the bottom part. I'm not going to do the entire cone. Okay. Every peanut butter is different. Some of them are thicker than others. Some are very thin. So it just depends. It doesn't matter. You can work with any brand or any kind. There we go. Let me move it over here so you can see it a tiny bit better. Okay. It's just like icing a cake going right around. Okay. And then I've got a couple of options. Cheerios and birdseed. I'm actually going to decorate first with Cheerios, and you can stick them right on, okay? Okay, and then what I'm going to do is go like that, okay? Now, I know, Taylor, you're waiting, so let's take a look. We're going to do something very similar, but using the waffle cone or a piece of paper. You have to make a little hole, and it has to be pretty small, okay? Take a look at, oh, I should probably move that out of the way. Take a look at how much I'm cutting off. Almost nothing, just enough for my chenille stem to make it through. There we What's
Taylor,
that?
Taylor, can you show your hole again at the end of?
You got a little hole there? Fantastic. Okay, then we're going to take a chenille stick and we're going to kind of like tie the end. You see how I'm tying that? Just like tying a knot almost. And I'm going to bring it through. Okay, I've got it tied just like that. And then I'm going to pull it. It doesn't have to be super tight. What we're doing is we're creating, let me get a good angle here. We're just creating like a little ball or a knot at the end so it doesn't go through our cone. And then I'm going to take this end, okay, with nothing on it, the opposite end from the knot, and I'm going to put it through my cone. Okay, so here we go. Oh, did I make my hole big enough? There it is. Okay, so I'm feeding it through, and then the knotted end is going to be what prevents it from falling through. Okay, don't pull it too tight. You don't want to pull it all the way through. There we go. It's kind of dark in there with the dark chenille stick, but you can see it's not going to fall out. Okay. And then this other end, just leave it. And when you get to the tree, use this to wrap it around the branch of the tree, kind of like a Christmas decoration. Okay, super. Same idea. Okay, so here was my other one that I just finished.
Great job, Taylor.
Excellent. Okay, so those of you using cones, put your hands in as well. You've got to support it because now you're going to cover the entire thing with yummy peanut butter. Okay, here we go. Now, this is where you really have to take your time because the peanut butter is going to want to roll up almost, depending on how thick it is. Okay, so I've actually put quite a bit on there. And then I'm just spreading gently, gently. So this is where I hope, Taylor, that the piece of paper you have is maybe thicker, or you could put a few pieces of paper together.
I'm not doing that part.
Oh, okay. You're not doing that one. Okay. You could do it after when you have all the supplies. The paper will take the peanut butter, but it's the paper's pretty thin for it. However, I'm trying to think if you had, if you rolled a piece of cardboard or cardstock, that would be perfectly fine. So the whole thing about the ice cream cone is the birds will also eat the cone. Whoops, oh dear. There we go. Now, when this is done, we're going to move on to pine cones. Did anybody find a pine cone outside? I managed to find a couple, but then I also rated my Christmas tree decorations. I had a few in there as well.
It's a good suggestion from the chat room. If you don't have, oh my goodness, ice cream cone, you can use a paper towel roll. That'd be pretty dense. I'm sure the animals might be disappointed when they're eating a paper towel roll when at the Strath House there's ice cream cones, but.
You can use any support, actually. Just make sure if it doesn't disintegrate in nature, make sure you go back and retrieve it in the end. But yes, I have seen people using toilet paper rolls and they put the peanut butter around that. That's another, or whatchamacallit, paper towel rolls. Okay, great. And then you can decorate with Cheerios if you like, or you can simply roll in with the bird seed. Okay. I'm just going to roll, and you might find you have to pat it down a little bit for it to stick. Okay. Okay. There, that is ready. It gets quite heavy. It's ready to go outside. Excellent. Okay. I've got a few things here. Oh dear, QEP birds are going to be pretty happy. There we go. It's messy. If you don't cover all the peanut butter, it's going to be a little bit messy there. Okay, great. Now, did anybody manage to find a pine cone? No?
I think Ellen said yeah.
Okay, great. Let me show you the pine cone.
Taylor, do
Okay.
you have a question? Go ahead.
I'm allergic to pine cones.
Are you, sweetheart? Okay. I'm going to show you something else that I brought in just for show and tell before we do the pine cone. This is the mixture I made with shortening and birdseed. And I got this off of the David Suzuki website. So I took about shortening, your mom will know, but shortening looks like this, okay? I just cut off about 1/2 inch of shortening, which is 1/4 cup, and I put it in, and then I mixed in birdseed, and this is what I got. And this is all pretty sticky stuff because this is, very greasy. And then I formed it into a ball. These you can then put inside of onion bags, you know, the mesh bags that you buy onions in, or mandarins or clementines. You can put them in those mesh bags, tie the mesh bags, and hang them outside. Okay, so that's another super easy option. Just make sure you go back and you check the mesh bag, bring it back in, and you can fill it again. Okay, so no peanut butter involved and no pine cones there either. Now, using this particular mix, you can also apply it to pine cones. I made one earlier today just to show you. You see how it's so goopy and sticky? I took this and I just started like packing it around the pine cone. This could be packed around anything, any form as well. Okay. And before I started that, I put a string on it so that when it goes outside, of course, they won't be eating the pine cone, but they will be able to munch all of the bird seed in the fat. Okay. So that's another option. Let's go back to our pine cones. I've got one here. This is kind of an old one. We need to once again cut a piece of string for the top. You could also use a chenille stem if you wanted to. I just find it's a little bit easier to work with the string, and place it underneath some of the little, I don't even know what those things are called. They're not leaves, the little things around the pine cone, and tie it on, okay? And then from there, I'm gonna go back to the peanut butter. Let me clear away a couple of these things for us. Okay. And I am just going to place some peanut butter inside the pine cone all around. As much or little as you want, it doesn't really matter. Okay.
Diane, those are scales.
Thank you. Thank you, Google.
Oh, no, I knew.
Oh, you just know?
Yeah, oh, yeah. I just took some time to let others, yeah.
Scales. Wow. There you go. I did not know that. But I see it. That makes sense. So this is kind of fun because it doesn't have to be exact or perfect. There's no right way. You can just apply in and around. Okay. Now this side of my pine cone is flat. You see how it's got some problems there. It's not entirely round. So I'm not going to put any on that side.
Could we use the same seed mix to do like the outside of the birdhouse, maybe like the walls
And stick it on the walls?
of the birdhouse? Because I know that like if Taylor can't do the pine cone, maybe you can use the same mixture of peanut butter or lard on the outside of your tree house.
Absolutely. In fact, there are others who decorate this with, you know, sprinkles and paint and all of that. But you could absolutely decorate the sides. Why don't we try that? You can put some on the top because they'll come and they'll land. Am I within view? Yes. They'll land and they'll peck away at it. Okay. Now, this is where it's a real art form just to get it on the sides. I'm putting mine on the top, but you could do it along the sides as well. Okay. There we go. And once again, make sure you cover it with the birdseed. Otherwise, you're going to have sticky peanut butter fingers. Okay. Oops, I should be holding it over my container. Here we go. On my pine cone, we're dipped it in. Okay, and then shake it off a little bit. There you go. And you're ready to go. So my hand is in the way. There we go. And then, yes, so I have just added a little bit of peanut butter to the top over here. I'm going to hold it over my tray, stick on. Oh, some fell down, got down to the side. That's okay. I've covered it there as well. That's actually a really good idea. I'm going to do the other side. We only have a few minutes left. How is everybody doing? Have you got some nice bird feeders to set outside? Excellent.
I love the idea of using maybe like your expired peanut butter or nut butter, and rather than just rinsing it out, yeah, bringing it outside and bringing the animals to your yard or to your porch. It's a great idea.
So, you set this outside and you might find the squirrels get to it before the birds do. Because as Dan mentioned, they like peanut butter too. However, if you put this, in a tree, like inside the tree, there we go. Oh, squirrels have a way of finding everything, but hopefully the birds will make it there before. So there, we've combined these, got a little bit of peanut butter on those two sides. Okay, you can even decorate it and you could put peanut butter and then put your Cheerios all along the top too, okay? Just like that, stick them on there and the birds will come and nibble away.
Very cute. I've never seen heart-shaped Cheerios. I love that. Does anyone have questions before Dianne, before we start to wrap up?
So in conclusion, you can see all of the goodies I have created for the birds in my neighborhood. And now I am going to go outside and hang all of these up. So they'll have a snack for dinner. And we will see you next week. Next week, we're going to do something super fun. We are creating stained glass lanterns for our patios or our bedrooms as well. Stained glass using tissue paper and a jar, okay? Tea candle and some wire. I'll put all of the materials on the website and then you can be prepared for next week, okay? Love seeing you guys.
Thanks so much, Dianne. Hey, and everyone, next week is our last class for a while, so please make sure you do come and make sure you get all your supplies so you don't miss out.
Have a nice evening. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.